Hey, what's going on out there? I would like to welcome every single one of you to Water Your Soil. So before I get into this video, I would like to say, if you're new around here, I have two rules over at this channel. The first rule is for you to always use your own discretion when it comes to credit cards and credit scores. The second rule, that's for you to verify whatever it is you learn, whether it's here on this channel, another channel, or anywhere. That should be a rule to life. This video was going to be about credit cards. I was going to give you all some credit card tips, but then I received a couple of emails and I received some messages in the comments. And some of you had questions regarding credit scores. And it takes me back to my credit score journey. Look, I'm going to be genuine with you all. If you're watching this video right now, I want to see you win, whether it's with credit cards or credit scores. I genuinely mean that. I want to see you win. And the reason why I say that is because I remember back when I had my credit score journey and when it first started out and how discouraging it was. It was so discouraging because most of the people who were around me, meaning my close associates, they weren't on the same credit score journey that I was on. Either they already had a good credit score or they didn't have a good credit score and they really didn't care to learn about increasing their credit score. And ironically, I'm the one who ended up helping them increase their credit score to good or excellent credit. But what I will say is I remember the feeling. I remember how it felt. And I remember there were times where it became so mundane that I wanted to give up because I was thinking about it like, hey, this is boring. I'm not able to go out and spend what I want to spend. I have to be disciplined. Something that I wasn't used to at the time was financial discipline. So when you come into the process of trying to increase your credit score and learn about how credit scoring works, you have to change your mindset. And whenever you change your mindset, whenever people make any type of change, it tends to make some people uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable at times, especially when it's a change for the better. And it was an adjustment. I admit that. So I know what some of you are going through. Some of you come by and your credit score has decreased so much. Some of you are going through a divorce and your credit score has decreased. Some of you just lost a job and your credit score decreased. There are so many instances where people's credit score has decreased to things that are sometimes not even in their own control. But what I will say is I've been there before. I've been at the bottom when it comes to credit scoring. I didn't have the lowest credit score. I started out with a 549, but my credit score was pretty low. A 549 is considered a poor credit score. So I relate to you all. But what I will say is when you're on this credit scoring journey, the one thing that is going to require from you is a change in your mindset. And with that change in mindset comes you having to understand why you're doing it. See, a lot of people, they want to go and they want to increase their credit score, but they're not really paying attention to the process. They want to skip the process. So they'll go to YouTube and they'll type in how to increase your credit score in 40 days fast, how to increase your credit score by 200 points in 30 days, how to increase your credit score as quick as possible. And when you do those type of things, you're setting yourself up to skip the process. Let's say you go and you do that. You type that in the search on YouTube or you type it in the search on Google, and let's say you actually find a solution to your question. You find an answer. So you go and you get a quick fix, whether it's sending out dispute letters or whatever it is. And your credit score increases 100 points in 30 days as you search. What you did is increase your credit score by 100 points in 30 days. So you may not care. You're probably like, hey, this was easy. But one thing that you missed out on is the opportunity to know how credit scoring works. And you missed out on the opportunity to avoid having your credit score decrease again in the future. The educational aspect of this all is the most important part. A lot of times, some of you want to skip out on the educational part. So you'll come by and you'll ask questions looking for the quick fix. And I'm not going to provide people with the quick fix over here. It's not because I want to be a jerk to you all. It's not because I want to ignore you and don't want to answer your question. It's because I don't want to set you all up for failure. I know that the quick fix is not going to help your kids. I know that the quick fix is not going to help your spouse. It may do it temporarily, but if you're bad when it comes to managing your finances, you're more than likely going to be bad in the future if you don't learn how credit scoring works. It's so important to learn how credit scoring works. And that's why I stated that it starts with your mindset. A lot of times people, they want the results, but they don't want to change their mindset. When it comes to something like credit scores, you have to change your mindset first. Number one, you have to change your mindset. That way you'll be willing to learn the things that you need in order to learn to increase your credit score. And number two, you have to have a strong enough reasoning to do it that you'll continue to go. I always tell the story, but there was a point in time on my credit score journey. It was like a year or so into my journey, and my credit score, it got stuck at a 660 for 9 straight months. I mean, month after month after month. And I literally thought something was wrong with my credit report. I was thinking about contacting Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion because I was like, why is my credit score stuck for 9 straight months? And it's not like I put a freeze on my credit report, because I didn't. So I just didn't understand it. And during that time, I could have quit. I could have backtracked. I could have went back to my old ways of being undisciplined when it came to finances and money. But instead, I had to remember my reasoning for doing it. And my reasoning for doing it was because I wanted to increase my credit score. And I also wanted to change my mindset overall in regard to credit scores and credit cards and finances in general, because I really didn't have any financial education when it came to managing finances. So it pretty much started for me when I learned about credit scoring and when I learned how to use credit cards the correct way. So I could have just backtracked and just forgot about all of it, because I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say I didn't think about it. I thought about it multiple times, especially like around month 6 and month 7. Once those months came around and my credit score was still at a 660, I was like, man, I might as well forget this. If this is what it's going to be and my credit score is going to be a 660 and it's going to continue for years, then I don't want to do this. However, something inside of me, it went back to my reasoning why. That told me to keep going. And then after that, month 9 is when my credit score began to go up. And then it never stopped going up. It went up to the 800s eventually. And I'm not saying that the same thing will happen to you, meaning that your score will be stuck at a specific credit score for 9 months or longer. However, what I'm saying is, when you have the mindset and you have the right reasoning, whether you're doing this for your kids or you want to be able to purchase a home or whatever it may be, you want to start a business, whatever your reasoning is, hold on to that, because that's going to be the number one way you be able to increase your credit score. Yeah, learning about the 5 categories matter, but you're going to be hit with some adversity on your journey that makes you question and doubt whether you want to continue to be disciplined when it comes to trying to increase your credit score. And you're going to have to go back to your why and your reasoning of why you want to continue to do it. And my advice to you all, as someone who has been through it, is for you to stick through it. It gets uncomfortable. That 9 months at a 660 was very uncomfortable because it was somewhere that I'd never been before. There never was a time prior to that where I was trying to increase my credit score intentionally. So to get stuck and my score not move, and it was just like I'm in deep water, trying to tread deep water by myself with no experience. But I reminded myself of why I was doing it, and I stuck to it, and eventually things changed. And like I stated, no matter your circumstance or where you are right now, you have the ability deep inside of you, in your thought process, in your mind, the way how your mind works, where you can increase your credit score. And you can do it honestly for the rest of your life if you want to. It's all up to you. Credit scores are not rocket science. I know sometimes people try to make them so complex, and when you're new to it, of course, it does seem kind of foreign, learning about utilization and things like that. But I'll tell you here, once you learn those 5 categories and you start to understand them and you understand how credit scoring works, then things will start to progress for you, and it will just click. One day it's just going to click for you if you continue on with it. It did it for me. It did it for countless amounts of others. So my advice to you is to not cheat yourself out of the process. because the process is what's going to help you, be able to pay it forward and help your children out. A lot of times people want to come by and they want to talk about financial literacy and credit scores and credit cards being taught in school. But if you have the knowledge yourself, you can teach your children and the rest of the people in your family. And that's the goal that I have for you all, every single one of you watching, for you to be able to learn and pay that information forward and help your family out in the future. But I just wanted to make this video because I've been receiving comments and I understand what a lot of you are going through, but my advice to you all is to keep going and tap into your mental and stay positive. But anyways, if you're new around here and you're feeling the vibe, this is Water Your Soil. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on all notifications, that way you don't miss a future video because I post often. That's clicking on the bell and selecting all. Also, this goes to every single one of you watching right now, my subscribers included. Be sure to hit the like button. It literally takes a second. That's your way of letting the algorithm know you support this video and this channel. Once again, I appreciate every single one of you for watching. Stay positive. This is Water Your Soil, and I'm out. Hey, what's going on? This is Nell from Water Your Soil. So as someone who went from a 549 credit score all the way up to the 800s, I decided to share the same information that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. This book is titled Strategies to Master Credit. I put everything in this book, everything that helped me go from poor credit to excellent credit. All of the information is in this book. So I want you all to purchase this book. A lot of you have already purchased it, but it's available currently right now on Amazon.com and also MasterCreditBook.com. It's titled Strategies to Master Credit. You want this book. It has all the information needed in order for you to go from poor credit to excellent credit, or just simply maintain your good or excellent credit score. So get the book ASAP. And if you want something more in depth, you could take the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. It's more in depth. There are actually chapters in this course, and it walks you through basically how FICO credit scores come about and how they're determined. And really, once you learn how FICO scores come about and the concept of credit scores, then you're pretty much on your way to either going from poor credit to good credit, or just maintaining a good or excellent credit score. So if you want something more in depth, I have the course over at www.wateryoursoil.com. All right.